So it's the time of year when I replant the ginger and the two kinds of turmeric, and I've also got galangal this year as well. So what I did was, when I harvested it, I cut pieces. So you can see there, that's a piece of ginger that's been cut off a bigger piece, and I let them cure, or kind of just harden a bit, so that the cut surface hardened off, and so it didn't rot. And then what I did was I put them in a pot with just clean potting mix, and left them there until now, because I wanted them to stay moist but not wet. And you can see, looking at them, that they still look moist. And what you're looking for is pieces with decent growth points. You can probably see better on that one. You can see those growth points on it, and you can see it still looks kind of red because it's still quite moist. So what I've done is we've got our boxes ready. So we plant ginger in this big wooden box, and we're planting ginger and turmeric in these barrels. So into this box there was already growing material in it, so we added fresh cow shit to that and mixed it all together, and then we added a layer of spent potting mix, because it's stuff that I'd used for growing seedlings in but was still fine, so I put that in, mixed it in as well, and then we added on top some of our beautiful Johnson Sioux compost. And now I've laid the pieces out and I'm going to plant them. When I was going through them, I made sure that every piece has got a visible growth point that's starting to swell. So you can see on that one there that there's a visible growth point starting to swell at that end. So they've all got a visible growth point, and any that didn't have a visible growth point I've got rid of. So that's the first thing. So this barrel is the same, this one's also for ginger. So I've laid the pieces out on the top, so I'm spacing them properly. Again, picked pieces, good healthy pieces with visible growth points. And then this barrel here is yellow turmeric. Now I'm a little bit confusing on this about the turmeric, because it's very yellow as compared to the very orange turmeric. But when I look up yellow turmeric online, it tells me that it's a different plant and it has a different coloured flower, but this doesn't. It flowers with a white flower, the same as the orange stuff. So I'm not sure if this is just a kind of different version of that orange one. Choose how it was a huge producer, and yeah, so I've put some nice pieces of turmeric on the top there just to space them, on that barrel and on this pot here. And now this box at the front here is going to be the orange turmeric. Now my orange turmeric didn't do well last year. I was away a lot, it got quite neglected, and also I'd mixed it up with some of the yellow turmeric, which is a much stronger grower, so it didn't do well. So I salvaged some pieces, and that's what I'm planting. It is quite different to the yellow one. It's very, very deep orange. I mean, you can see probably there on that cut surface how orange it is. So I'm going to do that box with orange turmeric and try and salvage it. Here, that's the galangal, which I decided not to harvest any from this year. It didn't die back at all, so I've just potted it up into a new bigger pot and some beautiful Johnson Sioux compost. And now I've got two more barrels, that one and that one, and I need to decide what's going into them. So I haven't decided that yet, but I'm running out of time for today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to plant each of those pieces that I've laid out. I lay them out like that so that I can see the spacing, and then I go back and plant them. So that's that barrel planted, the big box is planted, the small box of orange turmeric planted, and I'm just going to plant these. And I just thought I would just show you something. So you see on that one, you've got this kind of mother bulb thing that looks a bit like a weird kind of alien. Then you've got that piece sticking out. So the piece sticking out, I could have pulled it off and we could have eaten it, or I could have pulled it off and it would have been fine to just plant just that bit. So as long as it's got growth points on, which that has, you could pull that off and you could just plant that, and that would start you a new plant. I've been finding that where these mother bulb things are healthy and I've still got growth points on them, like that one has there, and it's got that little one coming off on that side, then you get huge crops off these. There's also a growth point there, look. So I've been planting these mother bulb things if I've got them, but sometimes I start just with a piece, just like that. So if you want to start growing your own turmeric, then I'm not selling any. So then what you need to do is find yourself some turmeric that has growth points on it, and like I say, you can start with those bits, and yeah, just make sure that they've got healthy growth points on them. And there's other instructions on planting and growing this stuff on the Facebook page as well, but I'm going to add these, and also I'll show you some more films of the harvest that I got this year. So yeah, oh, that's what I wanted to say. Of course, turmeric and ginger are both high value crops, hard to get organically often, and so if you've got a place that you can grow them, then it's a really good thing to do. We grow ours in the tunnel house up here in Hookieang. We could grow them outside, except that what would happen in the winter, in our very wet winters, is the tubers would tend to rot. So I grow them in the tunnel house, and what I do is in the winter time I stop watering them, and then they just kind of sit there in stasis for a while. Then I harvest them, do the splitting of the new plants and take in what we're going to eat or use, and then I plant them up like this again, and that system works really well for us. I'm sure they would grow outside, but I'm not sure that they'd survive our wet winters because things do tend to rot in the ground.